Okay.
Is there anything in my teeth?
Never mind.
No, you're good.
You're good. Yay. I'm back.
Hello guys, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm joined by the lovely Cass. This is my roommate. If you guys haven't watched my channel before,
They know who I am.
in every single one of my videos. Today, we're going to be doing a little girl talk video. We did a uni advice almost a year ago with my friend Jocelyn. She's not here for the summer, so it's just going to be the two of us. But for today, I asked you guys to just ask me general questions on Instagram. So we're going to be going through and trying to do our best to give advice. We made little drinks. These highly recommend. They're frozen Aperol spritzes
With frozen mango.
so good. We're just going to be sipping on these little drinks. I'm going to be going through all of the questions that you guys asked us. Hopefully you guys enjoy this and we give decent advice. What do we want to start? I'm nervous.
I know,
I don't know
right?
why. How to be more comfortable around guys you like. I think confidence is just key.
Yeah.
Like
remind
you're-
yourself that like if you're hanging out with them and like they're into you too, that like they're into you for a reason. Like you're fucking awesome. Like you.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there sometimes if I get like all like like then I'm like no wait like they want to see me and so then I just like kind of act cooler than I am and then I feel a bit better. Like I'm like overconfident, so I'm like okay, like I got this. Like
Yeah.
you know. Sometimes I think if you're going on a date or something and you're a bit nervous, if you're with your friends, it's nice to even like FaceTime them or something, just be like, oh I'm nervous, and they'll give you like a good pep talk and you'll be ready. Like you'll be yourself again, you know?
Yeah. I think in general, just like if it's the right person, you'll click. So if it's awkward and stuff like that, like you might kind of realize that you like the idea of them better than like how well you guys actually get along and stuff like that. So I feel like if you guys aren't clicking and you know there is a lot of things that you're overthinking and there's awkward moments and stuff like that, that might be a sign that like maybe
It's
the
not
person you like
you.
is just maybe not right for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that was good.
Good answer. Short, nice and good.
Biggest red flag in a friendship that a lot of people disregard. When they're not proud of you. Like as much as they can, you know, have a really good time when you're one-on-one, if they're not, you know, introducing you to their mutual friends and stuff like that, that might show that they don't actually value you or respect you as much as you might think.
Yeah. Talking down at you and kind of making you feel like less than.
Oh.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's kind of an obvious one, but I think that's a very big like friendship turn off for me. Is very like speaking down at you and kind of being condescending. Like that's toxic. 'Cause you're not gonna realize how much it like how insecure you're gonna get and how much it like beats up your ego. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's a good one. Too close to home. No. I've been dating this guy for 3 months, but I'm moving away. Is long distance worth it? I've never personally been in a relationship, so I feel like I can't really answer this, but I guess.
Well, what's your take on it?
I think it depends on the relationship. Like, I think it depends on each couple. Like, I feel like it's really hard to say whether or not it's going to work for you because it's very individual. Like, if you're very physical touch and that's your love language, then, like, long-distance relationships might not work for you. But, you know, it also depends on how far away you're moving. Like, if you're able to still see each other, then it might be more worth it.
I think other side of the world, long distance is really hard.
Yeah, especially with time difference.
There's the side of it that makes time together super meaningful, and then, you know, you really appreciate your time together, but then there's also just, you miss out on all the little things of, like, I'm not saying long distance can't work, but for me personally, it hasn't. At this stage of my life, I don't think that I would do it, just because I know what it's like for me.
For the most part, most of the people that I've known that have gone into long distance relationships, it hasn't worked out. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to work for anyone, because obviously there's tons of couples that do make it work.
And I know, like, a couple good long distance couples that, like, I know are, honestly, I think it's almost better for them at this stage, because they have their own separate lives, and they see each other every other weekend kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where it's, like, kind of one province away or something like that. I think that's manageable in uni, but it's hard, you know?
Yeah. Weigh out how much you like the guy, whether or not you want to try it. I think it's worth attempting it, but, like, don't force yourself to stay in that relationship if, like, the context is never going to change and you end up just stressing yourself out more by being in it.
No, exactly.
How to find a boy that's not a weirdo. We don't know.
I'm not the right person to ask.
So many people are asking us this, and I'm just like,
I actually figured out my type. I think it's weird guys. Like, genuinely strange.
Like, they're funny. It's fine.
Hannah comes over, she's like, no, it's really nice. Like, wait, don't look at his Instagram. He was really, I swear he's really funny. I'm like,
they're not even funny.
Like,
later on, I'm like,
that wasn't funny.
Party culture in terms of, like, what girls should be aware of when going out. I feel like there's the obvious, like, making sure you're not walking home alone and, like, making sure you're always with someone, so that, like, when you're at the club and stuff like that, if anything were to happen, you have people there that will take care of you and make sure that, like, you are okay if anything were to ever go wrong.
And obviously the, like, blatant one is, like, don't, like, with safety, just with drinks and with certain guys or girls, just, like, watch out for, because they're I mean, maybe just living here, also club culture, there's a lot of, like, fucked up shit that happens, I feel like, at these types of clubs. So really just being like, I'm not, like, as much as it's tempting to, sometimes, like, I just don't bother with taking drinks from guys, because you have no idea, especially bottles sometimes. I've just heard of, like, something, I'm not gonna say where, but, like, what's happened is there was a guy that, like, spiked a bottle. It was going around to girls and pouring. Because you'll take that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and everyone's just like,
yeah. Especially if you're drunk, like, you just, you know, so.
Yeah, so if someone's buying you a drink, always make sure that you can, like, see the glass at all times when it's being poured and stuff
just
like
that.
Just,
like, at the bar, it's fine. But just, like, in the club, I don't know if I would do that, personally.
I think when you're going out, as much as, like, you can drink and have a fun time, like, make sure that you're always present enough to, like, be aware of your surroundings. If someone's lingering for too long or anything like that.
Let someone know that you're not good.
Yeah.
So even if you're drunk and having a good time, just, like, let someone else, they can kind of watch for you in a sense.
Yeah.
That one.
How to stop craving validation?
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten better at it.
I feel like I was, for a long period of time, like, always consistently talking to someone. I feel like over the past, like, 2 years, I, like, always had something going on, whether it was, like, I was actually pursuing something with someone, or if I was, like, hooking up with someone, or whatever it was. So I think, like, for me, the biggest thing was, like, I realized that I would consistently stay in things with people just because I wanted to have something going on, rather than, like, I actually thought they were treating me well. So I personally, like, took a bit of time off. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna work on myself. I think it's important to obviously, like, especially when we're young, to kind of, like, have that time to get to know yourself better, and then you're able to set your expectations of, like, all of that stuff. And for your standard to be that you're alone and that, like, someone else can just better your life.
Not improve it from where it is because you need it to get back to being happy.
How to deal with outgrowing a best friend. This has happened to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, when I was younger. I feel like, especially when you're growing up, it's just natural that, like, you're becoming yourself and learning, like, to understand yourself better, and, like, things are changing a lot, obviously. Like, you're getting older, so it's normal to grow apart, and, like, as much as it sucks to think of it, and, like, when it's happening in the moment, it feels like the whole world is crashing down and you don't know what to do with yourself. Like, friends will naturally come and go out of your life all the time, and some people are just meant to be in your life for a shorter period of time and fulfill different roles. And, you know, if you're outgrowing someone, then, like, as difficult as it is, it might be better to accept that rather than, like, forcing something that might not be meant to be anymore.
And, like, on that note, just when you're outgrowing someone doesn't mean you're, like, in a sense losing them. It just means that, like, you're not that person anymore, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, that means that you've both grown up and, like, realized different things about each other, and you can have almost, like, reestablish a different type of friendship.
Yeah.
And maybe be school friends, or, you know, like, coffee date friends, or party friends, and just, you know, those people that you just see socially and you don't have a bad time with, but you aren't best friends anymore. I think redefining the relationship is, like, you'll figure it out as you go, and, like, don't look at outgrowing someone as negative.
Yeah. And communicate with them. Like, if you're close, you should talk about it.
And be like,
see, like,
we're not seeing eye to eye on this and this, and
whether or not it's something that you can fix, or if it's something where your morals and your values just may not align anymore. How long should you or do you wait before hooking up with a guy that you're seeing?
I think it just depends.
Yeah.
Like, you can go both ways with it. You do what you want, is my opinion on it.
I feel like whatever you like to do, don't be afraid of, like, what the guy's gonna think, because at the end of the day, that's their reaction.
You shouldn't approach a relationship from what they're gonna think, but what you're gonna get out of it, in my opinion. So if you think that you are gonna enjoy, and you want to wait a bit, and you see how it goes, if that's your style, go for it.
But if you want to move faster, that's up to you too. And if they react poorly because of that, that says more about them than it does about you.
100%.
And at the end of the day, like, you hooking up with someone faster or slower, like, could affect a relationship, but it could also not. Like, I know tons of people who have hooked up with someone on the first date and it's, led to really long-term relationships. So just because you, like, decide to do that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, it's not going to end up being anything serious.
Yeah.
How do you get parents to let you start going out more often and hanging out with guys more? I feel like I didn't really struggle with this as much when I was younger. My parents were usually relatively chill, but I feel like maybe you have more.
Yeah. My parents were really different. My mom thought she was meeting me halfway, but in my sense, like, I felt like I was always missing out and stuff like that, and I had a curfew, like an early curfew, and like
What was your curfew?
Like, when I was younger, like 10:30, she'd be like, yeah. For me, I realized sometimes bringing home my friends or, like, introducing them, then she'd trust them a bit more and would trust their judgment. Like, that was similar with your mom.
Yeah, like, I feel like my mom was chill because she also, like, knew that I had good people around me that if anything were to go wrong, they would take care of me or, like, all of that stuff. So it helps when your parents trust your friends and the people you're around a lot.
Or just not being scared to, like, go to her when I fucked up. Really just being, like, sometimes just being real with her. Because I was always scared to, because I thought I'd get in trouble. And maybe I get a scolding at first or whatever. But then I go to her and she's actually like, I'm glad you came to me because I know you're learning and, like, I trust you more.
Yeah. Because I feel like the worst thing is just when the parents don't trust the kids.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when, like, it's just hard because, like, if they're not letting you do anything, obviously you're going to want to go out and do things.
You don't want to do what you can't do.
Yeah.
That's the whole strict parents make sneaky kids.
Mm-hmm. The boy I'm talking to never messages first.
Do you want to start?
Do you have something that you want to say?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, then you go.
I think how I would go about it is maybe just being crazy, but I would stop talking to them and see how they would react. Because, is that manipulative of me? I feel like if someone really wants to be with you and get to know you, whatever, see you, they'll make an effort and they'll make it happen. Yeah. Like, if you feel like you're giving too much and they're not reciprocating and you drop it and they're not, then that's that. That just shows it. They're gonna think I'm a crazy girl.
No, I think that's normal. Like, stop putting in effort if you're doing everything yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like.
But I think also as girls, sometimes the expectation is, like, the guy always needs to text first, and I also don't think that's the case. Like,
I think we've learned to be a bit more ballsy.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, you shouldn't be doing way too much, but at the end of the day, like, if I want to see someone, I would rather let them know than be sitting around being like, when are they going to text me? Yeah. And as long as I've made it clear, if they don't reciprocate, then, like, I know that at least I've communicated my feelings and I'm not going to
They don't have to text first every time. I feel like you have every right to be like, hey, what you doing tonight or whatever, if you feel like it.
Mm-hmm. How do you manage living with your close friends, disagreements, dealing with chores and stuff like that? Do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. I think for me, because I'm the type of person to just, maybe it's just my personality, that I tend to, in friendships too, but specifically in this, I'll let things kind of go if they're not that much of a big deal and I won't say anything, and then I realize they really bother me, and then I'll just, like, get super annoyed if it happens for the 10th time or whatever. But that's kind of my fault because I didn't say anything in the beginning. Yeah. So I think airing things right away, not in, like, a snapping every single time they do something to annoy you, but to be like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, like, I've seen a couple times, like, you haven't done your dish or something, like, can we just try to do this, and airing it. Or if you had an issue on a friendship level, to just be like, especially if you live together, you see each other so much.
Yeah, you're in each other's space all the time. It's so important to, like just communicate.
I feel like we're good at airing things. Yeah. That, like, we don't really argue that much, but I was just thinking, like, the one time that we, when we went out, that I was annoyed about something, and then I remember in the morning, or, like, you did the same thing too. I was like, I didn't say it, like, in the heat of the moment, because it also, like, I don't think you realized, but, like, vice versa. In the morning, I was just like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, like, this kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and we just, like, talked about it over like, when we had breakfast, and you were like, oh shit, I didn't even realize, I'm sorry, that's it. Because it's gonna bother you later on.
Especially
if
when
you're living together too.
And when it's little habits like that, like, don't know, it builds up
Yeah.
very easily when you're in each other's space all the time. I also think respecting each other's space is important, especially because we're friends, so we like do a lot of stuff together all the time, but just like making sure that at the end of the day we still like, you know, still get our alone time. I think it's a lot easier in the apartment we're in now compared to how we were before, because we have bigger rooms, so we kind of like enjoy sitting in our own space a little bit more than we did.
Especially us.
Yeah.
Far away now.
But like just knowing that like if someone goes to their own room is like, I'm gonna go chill a bit, to just like give them their own time, so you're not like together 24/7, because you also don't want to grow dependent on each other.
And then
either.
on that, also hanging out with other people that you don't live with.
Yeah.
Like I feel like have very different friends, which we do stuff with, like with
it
each other,
overlaps, obviously.
but it's okay to be like out with other friends sometimes, and not necessarily like you don't have to, like me, I don't have to be at everything.
Yeah.
That you're at.
Okay, my SD card just ran out of space, so I had to move the camera if the angle's different. Ignore that. I think we went through a lot of questions though, so I think we're gonna wrap up this video here. Hopefully our insight was helpful. I feel like we've rambled a lot, but I think we've learned a few things in the last 2 years of being in uni, and like,
yeah.
let me know if you guys enjoyed this video and if you want me to do more stuff like this on my channel. I had a really good time. I think it's fun to like go through these scenarios, and hopefully we helped someone out.
Can't wait to watch this when we're wiser.
I know, when we're old, because now that it's been a year since we filmed our last one, I like can't imagine watching this in another year. Oh my god. Craziness.
Growing up.
But yeah, that is gonna wrap it up from us.
We
love you to the moon. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Bye!